Most people try to use one form of allowing for every situation, but I find you run into a lot of problems when you do that. Allowing isn't just for one thing, there's a whole spectrum. There's an allowing spectrum, right? Sometimes you don't integrate at all. Sometimes you just take away the resistance and leave the feeling on a plate, right? Sometimes you allow lightly. And other times, when your system is ready, you move into deeper processing flow or even hunting or turbo exposures, my favorite. Today, I'm going to walk you through the spectrum of allowing so you know exactly which form to use for what you're dealing with. So let's get into it. Let's go over the different types of allowing that I used in my journey and for what situations different versions were the best, right? So there's the extreme versions where you're not allowing, right? There's the opposite spectrum, what we don't usually like, but sometimes we got to use them. Sometimes we got to white knuckle. Sometimes we got to survive a little bit, right? Sometimes we don't do any allowing. So that's the opposite. That's the, in the beginning, that might be a good coping mechanism, but eventually serenity now, insanity later, right? It's going to come back around, right? The alarms are eventually going to go when we're doing this, right? You're trying to get rid of, what you resist persists. Eventually, it's going to get bigger, and then you're surrounded by it everywhere, and everything's a trigger, right? That's how it works. Like what it does, it poisons the well all around you. Your world is just covered in this fear. Alarms are everywhere. It's trying to get your attention because you've been ignoring it. You're going, no, 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 right? And sometimes you got to do that in the beginning. So there's that extreme. The next one is, okay, I'm not going to try to figure it out, analyze it, try to push it away, rush it away, right? Not going to try to get rid of it, right? I'm just going to leave it. I'm just going to leave it be. I'm going to take away the resistance. I'm not going to fight it, right? Which is still good, which is gold, right? If you just start with taking away the resistance, just leaving something, right? Almost surrendering, right? You're not integrating yet. You're just surrendering. You're leaving, you're letting it, the flow just do its thing, right? You're just like, okay, I'm not going to face it to erase it. I'm not going to feel it to heal it. I'm not dissolving it. I'm just leaving it on the plate. The brain sent it to me on the plate. Okay, I know, but this one's overwhelming. It's just too much, right? I had situations like that with anything to do with my traumatic surgery, to do with my diverticulitis. Anything to do with the colon, right? Anything to do with ulcerative colitis, diverticulitis, the surgery, the things that went on in the surgery, people were dying next to me. Shit was fucking insane, right? It was a dark time. It was traumatic, right? You're dealing with 75 symptoms plus OCD looping thoughts. You have phobias, post-traumatic stress. You're going fucking crazy, right? So what did I do? I left it alone, but I didn't have a choice. It followed me everywhere I went. It was a cloud that was following me, right? So in the beginning, yeah, I tried to ignore it, try to keep busy, right? And that did help. It did help. It was fucking intense. So there was times where I'm like, okay, I'm not going to fight you. I can't fight you. I'm going to leave you alone. I'm going to let you sit there, do your thing, but I'm going to have my routine, follow it. I'm going to do my elevation, right? Dance. I'm going to do my visuals because that brings in dose, right? That brings in safety. That brings that survival state down, right? You're bringing down the baseline. This affects the alarms on the other side. You're bringing in that dopamine, oxytocin, serotonin, endorphins. Doing my walk and talks, right? Doing walk and talk. All these things, all the pillars. I was just focusing on grounding and moving my body, right? Using my imagination with my visuals, right? Getting into it, right? So that all helps take that intensity down. And then eventually I was ready to tackle that alarm. So we have some of these big alarms that are just too big, right? They're just massive alarms, and then we got the small alarms, right? They have has a massive load, right? We don't have the capacity for this yet. It's just too much. We're not ready yet. Doesn't that make sense? It's not safe yet to fully allow this. That's going to flood the system. But this was, by the way, let's make this clear, was still hell. This is what I'm saying. My normal workflow was making exorcisms jealous. Anybody else that's never been on that doesn't have a workflow yet, that's peeking in, and let's say they get to sit in your body for a couple hours, and you're like, okay, just do the regular workflow work with processing, allowing some of this shit. For them, it's not making exorcisms jealous. For them, it's 1,000 of these. It's making hell, Satan jealous. It's a fucking, you wish it was a nightmare. That's how bad it is, right? For us, we have a bit of a workflow, a bit of more resilience. We have a relationship experience with our symptoms, what if thoughts, right? We're getting kind of used to this hell. So the beginning is just leaving it alone. All right, I'm not resisting, no, gold, but I'm not integrating it. I'm not dissolving it either. And I'm not processing this shit. I can't. And that's okay. You can put that on the shelf. Leave it there. It's probably following you everywhere you're going anyway. So bring it with you while you cut the grass, shovel the snow, go to the store, do your walk and talks, do your visuals, right? All these things, the walk and talks, the visuals, the elevating, they are very important because they bring that survival state down. This shit it's a thing, right? It's backed by hardcore science, right? This is real shit. And I know because I did it and it worked for me. And it works for a lot of people, right? It's not nonsense. This is really, right? You're moving your body to bring that survival state down so that you build the capacity to integrate it, and it softens your ego, right? So that you can start to allow and dissolve that energy one drop at a time, little bits. And that's another thing I was talking about. Do little bits at a time, because every time you allow, you activate, right? There's a little fire. You're opening that door, but we're closing that door again. As soon as you, hi, bye, right? You had the wave, you dissolve it, the energy, right? You process it like Claire Weeks style. That cloud is going through your chest. You dissolve it, you're eating it. That vortex is going, right? And it leaves through your back. Poof, dissolves, gone. And if it comes back 1,000 times, you do it 1,000 times, right? That's what I did. But in between that, make sure you move on, right? We don't want to sit there and allow all day for longer than 30 minutes per thought, sensation, whatever it is. Because then you start to, before you know it, you're ruminating. You're trying to figure out, you're getting sucked into the rabbit holes, the smokes and mirrors of it. And then you're flooding yourself again. You're running that old program again. We don't want to do that. Small little activations, 3 to 5 minutes, maybe 10 minutes, right? Just because it's a learning curve, we want to make sure we go through the whole process. Okay, so I'm going to sit here. I'm going to allow. We're going to process you. Thank you, Limby. Limby, show me the fear. Show me what you got. Okay, thank you. I'm moving on. Blah, blah, right? That's about 80% of the thoughts and feelings that you have. Is that pretty straightforward? It's how they are exorcisms. You're looping on them. They suck. You don't like them. They're scary. A lot of fear. That's the meat and potatoes of the work. That's the flow, the main flow, right? You get into a flow. Right? And then eventually down the road, you'll get to a point where you start hunting. You start hunting your thoughts because you build enough capacity. Plus, believe it or not, even if you haven't allowed certain alarms, these big alarms, right? They're floating around with you. They're like clouds. You bring that survival state down by doing the other pillars. Believe it or not, when you are ready, it'll be half the amount of intensity. And you'll be like, Okay, this sucks. This is hard. This is scary. But I can do this. Compared to if I did this in my first days or weeks and I fully allowed, forget it. Right? And the thing is, best way to know is to find out because this is self-directed. Right? This is self-directed. You become your own guide. And if you have questions, well, how do I know? Blah, blah, blah. You find out. Okay, that was way too much. That fucked me up. You know it. It tells you too. Right? There's a spectrum of making exorcisms jealous. That's what we want on a regular basis. Right? And then there's like, okay, this is because I was, for a while, I thought I was going crazy. My OCD looping thoughts were making me crazy. But that's a norm. So finding that sweet spot of hell is normal. It's the normal work. But going beyond that, if it's not moving you forward and it's flooding you and it's delaying your progress, it's not a healthy amount that you're able to integrate and move forward. Right? Then it's a tidal wave. We don't want tidal waves. We want a shit ton of little waves. That's what we want. 80% of the stuff that I was dealing with day to day, I fully allowed. Right? If I had any sort of pain, sensation, pain with here or pelvic floor or whatever it was, I'd go, okay, give me more of that. Any pain that I had, 9 times out of 8, I would ask for more of it. Any weird sensation that I didn't get, sometimes I'd freak out, but most of the time I go, give me more. Right? That stabbing pain that's here, fuck it, give me more of that. I want more. Actually, I want it to stay here tomorrow and for the next 6 months. Right? And if you're gone tomorrow, I'm gonna be pissed. Right? I took away the resistance and then some, and I asked for more. Give me more of that. I was like a beast. Right? Turbo exposures. I use these with certain thoughts that just wouldn't leave me alone. They were constantly, right? They were hell and scary, and I had a lot of fear, but I could move through them. They were the smaller alarms, the everyday, potent, make exorcisms jealous small alarms. They're like this big, right? The little guys, right? See the amount there? How much of a load it puts on you, right? Compared to the big alarms, they're like this big each, right? And they have a big load on the system. Big difference. So let's say the smaller alarms, you'd have that one of the alarms on a Tuesday, it would be gone on the Thursday, right? And then another alarm replaces it on a Thursday. And if you were to ask yourself, remember last Tuesday you were freaking out about that thing? Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Now, that doesn't matter. This right now, oh fuck, right? And then Sunday, remember that thing on Thursday? No, I don't care. This, right? They're still hellish. They're still making exorcisms jealous, right? But with those, I dove in head first. I allowed it, integrated it, felt it in my chest, dissolved it, asked for more, right? Did turbo exposures, hunted it, right? They were appropriate. That's the type of allowing that worked really great with those. But the big mother alarms, right? Some of them I would allow 30 seconds or just bring it with me wherever I go because it was constantly there. It was a constant cloud. It didn't go away. And eventually I did allow, and then I fully allowed. But in the beginning, some of these mother alarms, these big ones, right? Some people might have 2 or 3, some people have 5, right? It's okay to leave it there, right? Just surrender, take away the resistance, don't analyze it, fix it, or try to get rid of it. Leave it on the plate. You're leaving it on the plate. You're not telling it to go away. You go, okay, stay on the plate, come with me. I'm gonna go cut the lawn. Right? So you take the plate with you, right? You're walking around like, I'm gonna cut the lawn here. Stay here. We're gonna put you on my shoulder. All right, I'm gonna start cutting the lawn. Okay, we're going for a drive. Hey, what's up, buddy? Fuck. Okay. Right. I'm not trying to get rid of you. Right. I'm taking away the resistance, but I'm not ready to fucking process yet. I just can't. I just right. And that's okay. right? And you don't want to be allowing anything for more than a half hour to an hour or all day, not moving, not bringing the baseline down with walk and talks, elevating, visuals, dancing, getting out of the house. You always start where you're at. I couldn't do any of the pillars in the beginning. I was bedridden. And then I could only walk around the house. And then eventually I walked outside for 5-10 minutes. And then eventually it was 10 kilometers a day, right? You start where you are and you eventually get the goal is to get to a place where you can fill up your routine and do all these things and do all the pillars. I had agoraphobia at home and eventually I had like a carophobia, which, right? It's like another safe. I have two safe places. The bedroom, that was my safe place. That's where I used to pace back and forth all day. I had a safe place in the house that I would pace back and forth, right? And I don't know how I don't have a six pack. My muscles were so tight. I was trying to figure shit out. This is when I was constantly resisting, right? I didn't take away the resistance or allow or any of it. And then eventually I would go into I was able to go in my car and do things, do visuals, right? And then my brain's like, okay, we got to give him another place that he can't leave. Now, all of a sudden I couldn't leave my car at times. I was like, shit, I got to go shopping, but I don't want to leave. It's trying to keep me small here. It's trying to hodl you down here. It's like, no, this is safe. The house is safe and this is safe. You can't leave. So I would have to go. I'd have to walk hard. Like, fuck it. As soon as I noticed that, I'm like, shit, it's creating another safety zone. You can't do that. So I had to break free. And it's hard. I get it. But you got to start every day. Take action. Don't give up. And no, there's different forms of allowing that you use for different situations. It's not a one size fits all. That doesn't make sense. And I'm sure you guys all see that. Right? You don't fully allow something that's got too much load on it and you don't have capacity for it. You're going to flood the system. And if you don't believe me, I'm sure you guys already know what I'm talking about. You're going to find out. And there's your proof. It tells you. It fucking tells you. It goes, all right, just a little bit. Okay, that's enough. That's enough. Okay, that's just back off a bit. Get your own sandwich. Back off a bit, right? But some people feel like they're failing if they don't fully allow it. Right? No. If anything, no, you're not. Don't forget, you got 80,000 other things that you can allow or take away the resistance of. Right? If you were just to surrender and not resist for the beginning, that's a great start because we're not fighting our thoughts or sensations. That's huge. When we're not doing this, that's amazing. And you're going to move forward. And eventually you build capacity. And that's what I did in the beginning. In the beginning, I resisted everything. It worked for a bit. I distracted, right? It worked for a bit. But eventually, I thought I was going crazy. My mental alarm skyrocketed. Then I started to take away the resistance. And I allowed things to be there. Then I started processing them by allowing them, like the Claire Week style, and floating them through my chest, integrating, right? And letting it dissolve. Then you get into a flow of allowing. Where you're like, oh yeah, fucking allow, boom, 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 yeah, the thing, blah, 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 right? You get in a fucking routine, right? Right? You got a nice flow. This is good. You know where you're at. You know which form of allowing. This is 80% of the work. You're like, I'm just using the same allowing. I'm not doing anything different. This is great. I just keep allowing. It's like when you scroll in your Facebook news feed, right? That take you 10 seconds, not even. Eventually you get so good at it, you get quicker at it, that allowing is like, oh, okay, move on. Acknowledge, integrate, allow, let it do its thing, right? Something that we used to take us 10 minutes because we were learning takes it 30 seconds, right? Oh, what do you got for me, Limby? Oh, okay, nice. All right, let's move on, right? And the big thing is move on. Make sure you move on because if you don't move on, right, you're going to be pouring gasoline on the fire. Put an end to it. We did that for 3 minutes. Great. Now we're moving on. I'm going to go cut the lawn. Now I'm going to go shovel the snow. Now I'm going to go to the grocery store and buy some beans for my chili tonight. And I'm still bringing it with me. I'm taking away the resistance. So I would say don't overthink it and think, oh, this is just fucking me up. This is confusing now. Which form of allowing do I use for a different? No. All I'm saying is, 80 to 90% of the allowing that you've already been using, just keep using it. You're good. You're good. You're good. But what I'm saying is I'm giving people permission to fucking back off if it's too much. Because it's too much. Because you're flooding yourself. So fuck off. Fucking stop. Right? And the bigger thing, don't just do it for 3 to 4 hours a day and do nothing else. Some people are doing nothing else. This energy has nowhere to go. When you walk, you integrate. Believe it or believe it. When you do visuals, elevate. Right? When you express your body, because your body, right? This is your brain. This is your brain. This is your brain. For me, this is what I believe. I could be wrong, but I doubt it. There's no top-down, bottom-up approach. It's just this approach. It's one, right? This is an expression of that. It sends feedback. There's a feedback loop, right? When you walk or you move this thing, it updates here constantly, right? This is your brain, right? It's sending signals and information constantly, right? So when you walk, you're regulating, right? You're bringing that intensity down. It's dissolving. You're grounding, right? It feels good. It's the thing, right? When you're visualizing, when you're having the downloads, right? When you're sitting in the dose, when you're dancing, right? When you're fucking strike a pose, right? When you're fucking, right? You're bringing that survival state down. You're expressing this. Every time you do, right? This move, your brain's like, oh, yeah. You're integrating. Believe it or believe it. That's why it's so important to do all the pillars, really. And not just one, sitting there, drowning in it for 3 hours at a time. Right? There's different amounts that are appropriate for different things that you're using. And you know that naturally when you take action. Right? It's not even something you got to study. You're going to find out. It's actually so easy to know which one to use that it's complicated. And it's not supposed to be. For me, trust me, I fucked it up worse than anybody on this planet. I did it wrong in all the ways, and I fully recovered. I'm just telling you what I saw in my experience. And guess what? It's never black. It's never fully white. There's no rules. One size doesn't fit all. The gray area is 95% of this journey. And the way to find out is by doing it, taking action and finding out and adjusting, pivoting. Right? Take the information that I have and apply it the best you can for your situation, but adjust accordingly to what you think works. Because at the end of the day, you have to become your own guide. That's the only way. And by showing up every day, never missing a day. For my journey, allowing was the missing piece, right? Missing piece to 7 other things that were just as important, right? And for me, that new piece was shiny and beautiful because it got me to the other side of recovery. I was stuck. I was on pause. I was doing the more work I was doing, the worse it got. The more stuck I was, the more I was going insane. The more I started healing physically, the more my mental alarm skyrocketed. And it was that missing piece that got me to the other side, right? But the thing is, it shouldn't be put on a pedestal. But for a lot of people, they're putting on a pedestal, and I did for a bit, to be honest, because it was my missing piece. It was special to me. It was this new shiny thing. It's like, oh my goodness, this is just clicking. It's fucking clicking. This is great. Everything was just right. I was opening that gate, my higher self. I was getting the downloads more efficiently. Right, I was in tune, and I was using this like a universal law for everything. I still do. I still use it, not just for health stuff, for business, relationships, situations that fall in your lap that are not too favorable, but in the end they always work in your favor. It's like you found the secret, and the OCD teaches you how to use it. It forces you to learn. It's a great teacher. The thing is, this stuff's been around for thousands of years, probably more. Western society's lost its way a bit, I think. Right? And I think we're going through a bit of an awakening, and some of this old stuff's coming back, and it's helping us. But it's nothing new. If you go to India, if you go anywhere, Thailand, all these places out east, right? They've been doing this to different cultures. They know this stuff already. For them, it's like, well, yeah, just take it away the resistance, you allow it to be there, and then you. If you go out east, you're just gonna see the Buddhist monks and fucking yogis and gurus and fucking thousands of different characters over there on the other side that fuck there's like yeah so right, this is nothing new, but of course when you find something that gets you there, that missing piece, right, we tend to put it on a pedestal for a bit, but it was not supposed to be anything that's more special than anything else, because together, all the pillars together with allowing, integrating through all the pillars is what makes it powerful, what makes everything work together, not just allowing all day, right? And some people have been doing that. They go, I'm just going to allow. I don't want to do any of the work. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. This is it. Oh, yeah, it works for, oh my goodness, it's been working for a couple of things. I'm just going to fucking double down and just fucking, right? They become an allowing Super Saiyan. Actually, that sounds pretty cool. No, I'm a Super Saiyan. They become, I don't know, they do it wrong, right? So it's not supposed to be something that's super amazingly special. It is, but you're not supposed to. It's not supposed to be more special than all the other work that we put together. Together, it's powerful. Yes, right, and it's powerful when it comes to using it for everyday things. It's like the hidden secret universal law, right? And it is. It really is. But it isn't just about allowing one way and that's it. There's different ways of allowing for different situations that work for you, and you're the one in the driver's seat. You decide, and usually by finding out. And for me, most of the work, I would say 80% of the work was just straightforward. Allow and engage, allow and engage, fully allow, fully allow. Okay, okay, okay. Right? But there were a few things where I just couldn't. And that's okay. You will eventually, if you do all the pillars, you'll get there. Right? It was a cloud that was following me wherever I went. Okay. Right? I took away the resistance, right? Let it do its thing. That's good enough. And sometimes you resist things, and that's okay. You break the rules a little bit. Break the fucking rules. Eventually, you'll allow again. So don't be so hard on yourself, right? You're going to fuck it up, and you should, because that's how you learn, and that's how you move forward. And take the foot off the gas pedal if you have to. And I know some people are, I'm trying to wrap my head around it, why people would be so triggered by this. Most people get it. They're like, yeah. Thank God. Yeah, that's what I've been doing already. Like most people, you're already doing the work. You're doing fine. You're doing good. But some people are triggered, and I'm not sure what for, because it's different. Because maybe their brain's going, oh, you've been doing it wrong the whole time. You're not going to recover. The OCD might create this little different reality that you're failing and you're getting worse. Maybe that's what it is, right? But if anything, this should give you some reassurance that if something's too heavy duty, back off a bit and work on the low hanging fruit, right? The easier stuff. Because if you work on the easier stuff, it brings that survival state down, and then you can fully allow it. It's not a big deal. It makes sense. It should make your journey even easier. right? You should feel like, oh, okay, there's my permission slip. I can back off a bit. I can concentrate on other things. Yeah. If you want to go ahead first on these other thoughts, feelings, sensations, have at her. Go ahead. I did. That's where I started doing the turbo exposures, right? It has its place and it works amazing. So just a reminder, and I just want to give you a quick recap example. Anything that had to do with the traumatic event that happened at the hospital because I had 5-hour emergency surgery to take a piece of my colon out. And to anybody else that was regulated, that wouldn't have been a big deal. Eat some pudding and go home and I'm just going to heal and just fucking lay on the couch. This is going to be great. I'm off work, blah, blah, right? But for me, it didn't work out like that. And any thought about it was fucking terrifying. And not the normal, like, exorcism style is terrifying. I mean, the next level to the core, right? To other people, it's like, dude, what's the big, for me, it just showed up like that. It was fucked. Right? So I just couldn't. Right? But eventually, 2 years into it, I started. But before that, I had plenty of things to allow that I could. They were hard. Yes, they were challenging. Please understand. They were still hell, but I could over and over and over again. 200 to 500 times a day, because that's how many times it showed itself and they became an opportunity for me to allow. I didn't have to schedule in my allowing. It just shows up naturally. Trust me. You probably have 20 things right now you can allow. And in 5 minutes, another 50 things. Right? The opportunities are always there for you to fully allow head first. Sure. But there are a few things that if you want to back off and just leave it and not resist it, that is okay. And that's good. Do that. If you want to just leave it and not fight it or get rid of it or not resist it, that's good enough. That's actually really good. Move on. Move on to the next thing. That's it. So that's pretty much the spectrum-ish of allowing, right? Remember, you don't have to force integration. You don't have to use the same tool for everything. Just pick the level that matches where you are right now and let the process unfold the way it's meant to. If this helped you, let me know in the comments. Please like, share, and subscribe.